All right, friends. Uh, I know this has been a while, so but I'm gonna make a adjustment, a video, a correction on something that I said a little bit funny, but hey, we'll see. I mean, again, here there's plenty. They all orbit the same subject, right? The same uh, dysfunctional belief and classification of things and who's good and evil, and you see all that symbolism here, fixtures and furnitures. And here, this denotes that this place is very old, right? Like as I mentioned, very old, and there's like a Damien here, maybe, and and doors, closed doors that may open or may open not. There's plenty of psychology here. There's Nietzsche, there's 1984, there is Alien, there is Talmud. There is, oh, I mean, here, and there's plenty of psychology, and there's plenty of uh, Animal Farm, and but it really tells you what's going on in this world. So here, before I move on to the point that I need to correct, is you take the red pill, you're a zombie. That's it, right? I mean, not just a zombie in the gulags of Russia. That's what you will become here. You may, some of you may look at the role of Neo here and think it's the glamorous and adventurous and exciting, and look again here, the movie shows some really evil side, and that is they insinuate to you psychologically that he is doing like the right thing when they show you with subtle gestures and moves and declarations and so on that he's been really put into the gulags, at not just that, psychologically, physically, and he's used and abused, right? I mean, similar to those sheep dogs in Scotland. You know how the master whistles and they move about, they understand every whistle and so on, so, but they basically like pat on their shoulders and on their head, and they give them food, right? Here you don't even get that, and at the end you get killed violently, as he was killed by the agent. And then you may think there's like some magical resurrection right there and then. uh, Automatically, he resurrects from after he gets like what, 12 bullets or whatever it is. No, he was killed by the agents as ordered by him and by Ripley, not Ripley, rather, yeah, the Ripley role of Trinity, right? Trinity, right? The Ripley role of Trinity. They pretty much the same role here, right? And they order his killing, but they extract his seed like the xenomorph. So he is also a xenomorph here. So, okay, I made this point. I'm going to move on to the subject that I'm going to cook. Here, he's being fermented and cooked, right? He's being fermented and cooked, like in the colon, like in the large intestines, right? Give me a second there. And he's reddish, right, in color. Notice the tint here is red within a blue surrounding. Everything here has a meaning. Everything here has, and as you can see, there's the flexible conduits like those you see in the Matrix, right? Uh, None in the Matrix, rather in Alien and so on. These are control channels, right? They also appear in Alien, right? And he's not alone. There are billions, right? Well, hundreds of millions, probably billions now, right? Probably. I don't think so. They are called the machines, right? And they're not treated well. They will kill. They will be made to kill and beg. And I mean, they become what they become is Winston after O'Brien or Burton. Winston, who is John Hare, after O'Brien or Burton is finished with him, they rehabilitate him. That's what this is happening here. This is exactly the same. Back there, here, as you can see, there is that interface to the back of the head, right? That's the same thing. That's where they, like now they have total control of his psyche, of his brain, of they now he sold his soul. His soul is gone, right? He's just now a thinking machine, machine that is brutal, that is psychotic, that is blah blah, similar to a cat, if you will, right? You know, they just kill without mercy, right? And they have control of him. You don't hear them, but that's how they come through to him, right? That is very similar to Winston after Winston is done, and of course before him, Julia, right? You know, Julia, you know, she enjoys like being promiscuous and so on. So the family is dead, everything is killed, everything is destroyed, right? That's here what's happening to him. But next comes this. Not just that. I mean, here they're taking, you know, not just his brain, but his, yeah, I don't know what these donates, right? Maybe he's a gay or something, transsexual or something of the sort, right? His arms, I mean, they have control of everything, his chest, his heart, everything. He is under 100% full control, like Winston, like, uh, 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 you know, and so on. Now he realizes what the red pill does, right? So whoever is looking at this, this is no glamorous. This is not adventurous. This is death. Only they keep your heart alive, so as to move and do their bidding and so on and so forth. Some of you may think that, you know, like to become a brick in the wall, you know, you don't want to have the hardship of life and so on and so forth. Believe me, to have the hardship of life is far better to you than being one of those. They hate themselves a million times every day, but there's nothing they can do. They're, they're being washed chemically and psychologically and physically and some of those in the gulags, actually, who went to the gulags in Siberia by the two brothers Lenin and Stalin, right? They were really washed and released, but they were totally washed, you know, like brainwashed and influenced, and then apparently at one point they lose all these values, human values, and they become living animals, right, or zombies. And some of them are okay with that, you know, they don't want to hassle, they want to fight anymore on their own and so on. I explained all that. So here's what I want to show you. Okay, here, now he is an autonomous machine, even without you or even without them controlling him on daily basis, on minute by minute basis. He talked to his brain, yes, but now he knows he's a conformist. They don't need to attach those control channels to him, or, you know, psychological channel, controls, and they don't need that anymore. He functions autonomously, and as they expect, you know, it's that bad, really. Now here, he goes out of the column, right? You know, ha ha ha. I know, because I thought it was the vagina, right? You know, breech, birth, right? But now I know differently. I know this is the back hole, right? Meaningly, they put him as low as being thrown into the sewer, right? Now he's going into the sewer. Meaningly, they shitted him, right? Shitted him, right? That's what they've done to him. First, I thought it was a birth, new birth. No, no. I know, I know. Hard, 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 hard. I made a mistake here. Well, it's not a mistake. See, I mean, that's what I mean. This is really, you know, this is the stool uh, outlet, if you will, right? And notice, these are sewers, right? And they explain that, actually, the sewers. I think Trinity at one point to tell him that, you know, they're in the sewers, right? When the Nebuchadnezzar hid from the sentinels, right? And I started guessing like this looks like England and blah 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 blah. And well, that's like, maybe it does, but at this juncture, this is like the sewers, and these are like crusting shit and stuff like that, flowing down in the sewer. And you know what? She did say that, right? Trinity, like I said just now, she did mention that when they hid in the sewer, right? So everybody goes, they send you all the way down. They so beat you down, they so beat you up, they so make a zombie out of you, and at the end they don't even give you an honorable discharge. They throw you and they really put you down in the sewer before they take you out, and then they use you again. I know, ha 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 ha. I started guessing about maps and so on, but that's what it is here. That's what it is, right? Now he's struggling to get out of the sewer, right? They put everybody that's not part of Trinity and so on, they put them in the sewer, right? One has to go in the sewer. This is similar to what O'Brien told Winston or John Hurt when he was on the table, that he should, evaporate him into the stratosphere, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he was telling you exactly what's going to happen if you take that red pill. Of course, there's no red pill. Maybe there is. I don't know. I never took one. I took the green pill. All right. All right, so that's the point I wanted to make here. Let me see if I can find something else to say something about, and then that's the last video for that one. And as you can see, his eyes, like he's looking like a different creature here, right? No, that's not his eye. Okay, that's not his eye. All right. Now he's drowning. And the six, right? The blue light with the six, right? 6 arms, they grab him up, right? They throw him there and they rescue him. First, they put him through all that, and they become his salvation as well. So now you see the point here. If you don't see the point that I am seeing, and that's here, and throughout the movie, then you do have a problem. And I think they will let you stay in the sewer if you're that kind who doesn't notice what's going on. That's funny. So here's what he says to him.
Welcome to the real world.
What does he mean by that, real world? What he means by that is the world is not as happy as you think it is, or it's a fairy tale, or success, or the world, real world. The world they own and make is really all that. How I showed you how he effed him, and how he, like a woman, and dealt him so and so, and brainwashed him, and now they're gonna use him to carry out their biddings, and then at the end, after they take his seed, they destroy him, right? Uh, and they have the neos. So toward the end, the neos is not just this one. The end neo is really a template for all those who go there. Let me show you, right? So that's what he means by the real world, right? There's according to them, there's no heaven. This is hell, basically. That's what they're saying. Communism under the brothers Lenin and Stalin, and until now under Putin or Assad or Ayatollahs, or now Golani, or that's the real world. That's the world they will make you live in, right?
We've done it, Trinity. We found him.
They found, according to her or them, what he said now is the xenomorph, right? Or the one who has the spirit of Allah in him, because they believe in what's called hulul, a Sufi, Sufis, the foundation of Masonry, right? Sufis, right? They say that God, or he is like placed himself, or he's a host of him, or something like that. God is in here, or sometimes they say he's the devil, or something of the sort. All these occultic religions, such as Druze, such as Alawis, such as Shiites, and Sufis and Jews, and so on and so forth. They have such concepts. They're not sure of it. Somebody made it for them in order for him or her or them to make animals out of them, right? Twisted life and so on. He says he knows. Okay. See, now this is like, I think this is initiation. I am not sure of it, but when they initiate someone, notice there's no longer hair. They shave their hair, and sometimes they allow them to shave their head, skinhead, and they go their beard, right? But now I'm looking at him, he's looking like a squid here or something, like this is no longer a typical human. Or he is like a ghost, right? White, all white, the ghost, like Casper, right? So that's what they're talking about here. All right, I don't want to make this like another series like I did on this before, two series. But here is something I want to say. I mean, again, I can say so much about this. I can sit here for hours on. But if you see, there's the 11, right? The 11, and there's that in the middle, right? That's that, right? As you can see, that's the guy in the middle, right? Between the 11 and so on. Sometimes you see like people put two chairs and a table in the middle, lower table, and stuff like that. That's basically him, right? The Dajjal or devil or something of the sort, right? So that's that. So you see the 11 here, and then you see him in the middle. That's a very well known. This is not the 4, right? This is that, right? You know, uh, the two horns of the devil. All right. Okay, here you notice the 1 and 3 and 3. This is usually the menorah, I believe. Or now you see it, this is the sign of the devil as well. You see it in Moscow. Even this MBS, Maps of Saudi, built it around Mecca with the crescent moon and so on. And I believe this is the building here where the metacortex was. And I explained to you what the metacortex was, right? But that's what it is here. They're coming in to liberate Zamorpheus. And this is, by the way, an act, because at the end you realize that the agents are really cohorting with Morpheus. They're really the same thing. Uh, and that's, let me show you something here. Sorry.
Damn you, Cypher.
Give me a second. Okay, here, as I explained, this is a suicide mission, right? Now, after he thinks he's got like an adventurous life and so on and so forth, really, this is a suicide mission. And in a high building, sounds to me like 9/11, World Trade Centers, and so on and so forth. So after they make zombies out of them, right, they send them to carry out terrorist acts. Against who? Against the established order, right? Against the established government, right? Whether it's democracy or whatever it is, right? So notice, now he's a terrorist, right? And this here is probably the World Trade Center. I don't know. You never know, right? So that's that. Give me a second. So here he really kills him. It's the same room where Trinity was, right? And they send him into it, and this is where he really kills him, right? Here he gets killed. Here he really gets killed. They were expecting him. That's where Tank sent him. Mr. Wizard, remember? Find me an exit. And then he put him into such a place, right? And I did count those for you, I think. So one single shot, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 blah. You'll find all that to be a number, right? Now here, the seed is being extracted from him, or the spirit, if you will, right?
Chicken. He's gone.
He is really gone.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
Right? Right. He's really gone. But now it's the sexual part. This is where Ripley extracts the seed, or the spirit, if you will. I say the seed, and the cat mating ritual. Here it's the spirit. I think that's what they mean by it. They extracted that spirit from him. All right, let's go. I don't have this time for this shit, right? So that's what it is, right? Now she has that spirit, and then if she gives birth to a baby, that baby supposedly will have that spirit in him. See, that's the new fetus or the newborn uh, child with the spirit of, right? You know, the spirit of Allah or God, according to them. Oh, they deem, I don't know what they say about it, but here, right? Not just like he's now he's looking like a weasel, you know, with those shifting eyes and and head movement, you know, he's jerking his neck around. He's one-eyed monster. They're all one-eyed monster. I don't know why they say that. I got two eyes. I know that for a fact. No, what? What? Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. This newborn one, they know that he is, but these guys are at one point or another, they're cohorting and working with Morpheus and Trinity. This whole thing may be a setup, you understand? And this place is outworldly. What does that mean? That means it's the fight and the battles and the killing and so on is not in this world, right? The physical world. It's probably in the spiritual. Okay, give me a second. Here, I want to explain to you a concept. I did explain it. All that, remember, if when, you know, Tank goes into his room and say, I'll be your operator, right? Meaning he's a master. He's similar to, as I explained earlier, you know, like a sheepdog in Scotland with a whistle and so on, and then, right? These are the same. These are Neos. And if you saw in the Matrix where those incubation pods are, as I explained to you before, they shedded them out into that map of the world that in the sewer and blah blah, right? These are all like him. They're under control. So Tank is operator of all those, right? And these are, I think, these are bullets, right? You know, so bullets means here, you know, like here there's like wars, right? There's always fighting. They're always fighting a war. You know, bullets and right. So here is a war zone. What he's saying, there's a war zone, and all these are the neos and conscripts and so on and so forth. And as I showed you earlier in one of the other videos, how the agent was holding hand with that little Chinese girl, right, wearing red beret, right? So, so yeah, these are the neos. So if you're impressed with all that stuff, now you're one of those, and bullets, and they may feed you, you know, and you know, make you live like a dog's life and whatnot, right? So that's him. He never goes out into the war zone. He just like talk to you in the ear through those flexible conduits. Or if you recall, O'Brien talking to Winston, and at the end he puts like a head set around his ears, meaning he receives commands and so on, uh, right, and his blank stare and so on. So that's all there's to it. All that's all I wanted to say about this. You know, I wanted to adjust about which hole it was. I know you're gonna laugh. You know, I looked at it differently, right? I can count here. You know, I don't know. 23, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. You can count as well. And here there are blues and greens. Those greens are Muslims, right? Supposedly. Once you see the green color, it's Muslims, right? Or probably what they deem it being Muslims, being goyim, like myself, you know, proud goyim, proud talking monkey, and so on and so forth, right? maybe they're all green, right? We're all green. Okay.
What happened?
What happened? Look, shifty eyes, right? Proximity warning. So the Sentinel, let me explain to you about the Sentinel. The Sentinel is from sentient, right? Or sentinel or sentient. Sentient is conscious, have self-consciousness. And that is used in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is being pushed into places where it should not be, I am telling you. Why? Because it reaches a point, it'll never be sentient. Sentient will never be, right? Not even as conscious or sentient as a bug, right? You know, like as a mosquito. But now it will reach a point where it makes decisions. And those decisions could be detrimental to humanity, to Earth, and so on and so forth. But they don't have that human emotion. They will never have that human emotion. To simulate that into machine is like impossible, right? So they may make a decision without thinking about it humanly. You understand? So, and these sentient sentinels are conscious. They are also human beings and machines that are conscious, but they are machines, right? You know, everything in these movies is, and I, to be honest with you, I doubt, highly doubt that these movies, Alien, this blah blah, they're made by one person, right? There's a whole group of persons, right, that you don't know about. Similar to when O'Brien said, there's not one book that is written by one man alone or something of the sort, right? But you just don't know about that. I don't know. 250, 400, 250, 350. So 50, 50, 400 increments of 50. Does that mean anything? I really don't care. Oh no. But here you see the 3 and 3, and then there's like that's the building. I think that's the schematics of the building. But the numbers, I don't know. Maybe they're random. There's a Z here, as you can see. Z, right? Uh, that is what is the emblem of the Russian uh, forces invading Ukraine and Europe and trying to destroy the Anglo-Saxons and the Arabs and so on. Like that's the Z right there, right? Let's see. All right, you know what? I'm gonna stop here on this one. I don't wanna. Like I said, I can go ahead and do a third series on this, but that's enough here. That's all I wanted to do. On that one, I mean, like I said, I can go back and find you new facts and new features and new elements that are very subtle and subtleties of the movies and cover the hidden script for you and here as well. But you know what? That's enough, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is these movies are not what you think they're about. So don't be excited about being Neo. You know, like being Neo is you're mucked up. Two, I want to tell you about the red and blue pill. The blue pill, you know, he let you go and so on. Blue pill, this choice between red and blue pill may not be a choice, you know, when he offers him that. Because if he's a blue pill, that means he's a blue, right? You know, like color of blue and so on. Devil or probably Israeli or something of the sort. So this is more of an identification. So if you are blue, he will let you go. If you are red, he will catch you, right? He knows what you are, right? He needs to know what you are because these are hidden personalities, right? Hidden personalities or hidden persons. So it wasn't giving him a choice. What he was doing there, right? He was, let me go back. So here in this session is what I'm trying to talk about is that he is testing him. He's not giving him an offer or a choice, right? He's finding out. It does appear to you that that's what it is here, but no. He's trying to find out if he's already a blue or if not, he will be made a red. So here, that's what it is, right? Let me go back.
The honor is mine. Please, come. Sit.
Notice, if you hear the cracking of thunder, meaningly this is similar to the trumpeting when Ash gets killed or something like that, you hear that sound of trumpeting. I also likened it to trumpeting. This here is cracking of thunder, right? You know, the upper god or entity, you know, he's like thundering. He's angry because he's being caught, right? He doesn't want him to be caught. You hear that, right? So here he's like, I explained this to you before. He's making him talk, right? I mean, he really never tells him anything similar to Trinity. But here toward the end, let's see. And he has those glasses on. I showed you the reflections and so on, but the glasses is really anonymous. You really don't know what he is, right? Those who wear sunglasses, to me, they're really not human.
Let me tell you
Again, the crack of thunder.
why you're here.
Notice.
Chance. After this, there is no. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill.
Here, he's really tested him. Because those who are blue, they know themselves. So he identifies himself as blue. So he's already there, right? You know, like Tang, for example. You know, he becomes an operator, a controller, spoiled brat, you know, like he gets subsidized and shit like that, right? Or if you're an MAGA, excuse me, I make those mistakes sometimes. If you're a Goyim, talking monkey, or a MAGA, excuse me again, I keep making those mistakes. And if you're, you know, so you go downhill, right? You know, as the whole movie explains to you about Neo, really. This is about subduing and destroying and using and abusing Neo, right? And sucking up the juice and throwing away the shell, right? Similar to a clam or a lobster or a crab or something of the sort, you know, you always throw away the shell, right? Now here, like I said, those who are blue, he would have told him blue, he would say, okay, just go home, right? You know, because he's already there, right? The different world, they're different worlds here. That's the world of the blues, and who supposedly, according to them, is they have ownership of your fate, right? They destroy you, they use you, blah, blah. You're part of the privileged few, you know, the 10%, the deep state or whatnot, right? These are, so here he's just basically testing him. You understand? Now, why wouldn't they try that up front instead of going through the whole process? Because he may be as well testing them. So they arrive here knowing that he's ignorant of the situation. Or if he was like being spying and weaseling his way through, you know, hiding and so on and so forth, here at the end, you know, he says, look, Blue, okay, well, all right, goodbye. Because they're supposed to do that, right? Similar to Trinity and Switch and so on, they go seduce and take down others, right? So he may have been doing this, arriving at this point. You see the point? All right, so that's all I wanted to say about this here again, and those videos. I'm done with those. Have a nice day, my friends. And today is March 8th, 25, protocol 25 and 1/2. Bye now.